Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pierre Demian, Senior HR Analyst for the City of Carson. Today, I'm in the company of Director Mosley, Ms. Faye Mosley, as well as our HR Specialist, Garcelle Rodriguez. This is open enrollment session, informational session, which is being recorded for our current audience and our future employees who are not able to participate today in the Zoom, so they can view it on the city's website. Today's session, again, of course, being recorded. And today we are going to have Colonial, and we have our representative from there, Latrice. We also have our brokers, Ms. Sherry and Rick as well. Okay, Latrice, the floor is all yours. Please go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join this meeting. I want to give a special thank you to Rick, Sherry, and Faye as well for allowing Colonial to review the benefit options for the City of Carson employees. So I'm briefly going to just do an overview of all of the product offerings that are available. And then if you guys have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat box and we will get them answered and sent to you as soon as possible. I believe also that Sherry sent a copy of this Colonial Life Benefits Handbook over to the city as well, that employees will have access to this document. Is that right, Sherry?
I sent it to them for review.
Oh, for review. Okay, perfect. So this year's enrollment will be from 2020 to 2021. All of the benefit offerings in here will include that time period. And so the first page, we talked about what you would need to enroll when you have your benefits review meeting. If you're a current Colonial Life policy holder, then we would be able to look you up by your name. And if you are not a current employee that has a Colonial Life benefit, but you would like to look at those options that are available, please make sure during the time of your enrollment that you would have your employee identification number, social security numbers for any persons that you would like to cover on the plan, as well as dates of birth and addresses for those dependents. And if you would be applying for any life insurance, the same information would be important for your beneficiaries. So name, address, date of birth, so that we would could properly identify them on your policy. What's new for this year's enrollment is that Colonial Life is offering guaranteed issue disability insurance for employees with the city of Carson. Also, we want to highlight the fact that the city of Carson has a Section 125 plan, which allows certain products to be pre-taxed. Whenever you have a pre-tax product, those benefits you are locked into those benefits for the plan year. So when you enroll and select your benefit options, the pre-tax policies are a 1-year enrollment commitment. There are certain stipulations that will allow someone to make a change in the plan year, which are marriage, divorce, birth of a child or adoption of a child, death of a spouse, or loss of job. So if any of these things happen and you are participating in a pre-tax policy, please notify Human Resources within 30 days, and they will work with us, with Colonial Life, to make any necessary adjustments. So the policies that are available for employees of the city of Carson are accident, critical illness and cancer, disability insurance, hospital confinement, life insurance, term and whole life, as well as dental insurance. To learn more about the benefit options available to you, you can contact our enrollment call center at the number listed here, which is 844-341-8752, as well as the online appointment scheduling link listed here. So we'll briefly go over what each policy does. So accident insurance covers employees or policyholders at work as well as away from work. So accidents are unpredictable. We never know when or where an accident can occur. An accident policy would pay benefits specifically to the insured in the event that they needed emergency treatment, whether in a hospital, a doctor's office, or urgent care facility, and these benefits are paid directly to you. The coverage is guaranteed issue, and there are a variety of benefits in addition to the emergency treatment that are paid out on these policies. There are more information, detailed information about this plan listed in this benefit booklet. The plan is guaranteed renewable for the lifetime of the policy, as long as the premiums are paid on time and the policies are portable, meaning that you can take them with you when you retire. Cancer insurance is just that. So it covers an insured in the event, or their family member in the event that they were diagnosed with cancer. This policy pays benefits directly to you. So although you may have great medical benefits, the policy, you're able to use these direct payments to you to offset loss of wages, deductibles, co-insurance, travel expenses to and from treatment, as well as lodging, private nursing, and much, much more. Critical illness insurance, it pays a flat dollar amount to you that you're able to select between $5,000 and $75,000. This policy pays up to 3 times the face amount. So an example of that is if a person had $20,000 of coverage for a critical event, the policy will pay you up to 3 times that, so a maximum of $60,000. This coverage pays you based on the diagnosis of a critical event, and it pays directly to you. We do not coordinate benefits with any other plans that you may have. Things that this policyholders use this policy benefit for is loss of income, home health care needs, mortgage, utilities, car notes, groceries, and much, much more. The plan also has what's called subsequent diagnosis. So heaven forbid, if a person were to have a critical event and then later suffer a separate critical event, Colonial Life would pay the same $20,000 benefit out to that policyholder. If the policyholder had the identical critical event, then it would pay 10% of that amount. There are some what we call health screening benefits included in this plan. So if a policyholder has a critical illness plan and they have a mammogram, then Colonial will pay you $200 directly to you. It also pays $70 for a pap smear or cervical cancer screening, and $50 for your health screening benefit, such as stress tests, blood work that you would have done with your annual physical. This policy is also guaranteed renewable until the maximum benefit is paid out, which is 3 times the amount of coverage that you take out. So this year we talked about the guarantee issue disability insurance. So disability insurance covers you for sickness or accidents. You can get this coverage to cover you at work as well as away from work, or just off-job disability only. The maximum guarantee issue coverage amount is $4,000 per month. You can get coverage periods of 6, 12, or 24 months. This policy also includes a first day hospital confinement rider, which means if the policyholder was to experience a sickness, for example, a pregnancy, and the employee was working up until they went into labor and they started their disability at a hospital, then they would not have an elimination period. There are a variety of elimination periods that are available. When you speak to a benefit counselor, you can select the one that best suits your needs. Rates for this policy are fixed, so they don't increase with age, and they are guaranteed. The policy is guaranteed renewable until age 75. There's also a waiver of premium benefit, meaning after 90 consecutive days of being disabled, that the premiums will be waived until the policyholder is deemed eligible to return to work. The disability policy also includes psychiatric disabilities as well. Partial disability is also a benefit that allows an employee to return to work on a part-time basis and receive 50% of their benefit for a maximum of three months. Hospital confinement insurance has been, in addition to disability, has been a policy we've received a lot of calls about in light of COVID-19. So the hospital confinement plan, it helps to offset the costs that are associated with your deductible. So there are a couple of plan options that you can select, but it will pay you a benefit directly if you're admitted to a hospital for 20 hours or more, if you receive a outpatient surgery, if you visit the emergency room, have doctor's visits, or any diagnostic testing. This policy is guarantee renewable for employees as long as the premiums are paid, and the premiums are paid directly to employees. There is also a waiver of premium benefit and a health screening benefit of $100 per covered person on the plan per calendar year. And then we also have life insurance options as well, term and 10, 20, and 30-year increments. The death benefit is level. The premiums are guaranteed and they will not increase during the term. There are additional riders for spouse and dependents that are available. You can also purchase standalone policies for your spouse. And then we also have a whole life option available that is guarantee issue for up to $75,000. The premiums will never increase. They also have guaranteed purchase options, which means that you can increase your benefits in the future up to age 55. And there are also additional riders for spouse and dependents, as well as you can buy a standalone policy for your spouse. And then last but not least is our individual PPO dental plan. So the cost of dental insurance increases year over year. So oftentimes one dental visit can max out your maximums. So you can add the Colonial Life PPO dental in addition to any other coverages you may have. We don't coordinate benefits, and it will give you an additional $2,000 per year for dental insurance. Covers 100% of your preventative services, 80% of your basic, and 50% of your major services. The plan is guaranteed renewable to age 75. And you can visit the coloniallifedental.com site to look and check and see if your dentist is in our PPO network. Because it's a PPO, you can go to any dentist that you want, but dentists that are in the PPO network do offer discounted rates for dentists that are in that network. You can also add an additional vision rider on that plan. So sometimes people like to have multiple pairs of glasses or sunglasses or contact lenses as well as glasses. So this rider will allow you to extend your benefit allowance for your optical needs. All of the Colonial Life plans are, like I said, portable. So at the age of retirement, you can port the plans with you with no increase in cost. Lastly, we have a policy order service guide that could be distributed that shows you the things that you can do online as far as filing claims or making changes to your information. Claim payments are eligible for checks to be mailed out as well as direct deposit through our online claim portal. And that is it. We have, I want to give the Enrollment Support call center number again, which is 341-8752. So that call center number is open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. And if employees need to schedule an appointment with a benefit counselor on a Saturday, they can use the enrollment scheduler link that was provided to schedule appointments on Saturday by appointment only between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Saturdays. So now we can, I guess, open it for questions. There's one question about is COVID-19 covered on the critical illness policy? No, it is not covered on the critical illness policy. However, it is covered on a disability or a hospital confinement plan.
Okay. Well, thanks, Latrice. It was a wonderful presentation. Let's see if we have any further questions.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So I have the critical care. Well, I have critical care and accident. So disability is different from critical care, correct?
Yes. So the critical illness policy, it pays you in the event that you experience a critical illness. So it says that your name is Grizel on the screen, but is this Grizel? I don't
know. No.
Okay. If you could give me your name, I can email you the specific coverages that are on the critical illness plan. But one of the other significant differences is that critical illness pays you a flat lump sum payment. So for an example, I have a critical illness policy. The benefit amount is $40,000. So a heart attack is considered to be a critical illness. So if I were to have a heart attack, then Colonial would cut me a check for $40,000. Where disability, it covers heart attacks as well, because that's a sickness that would, if the doctor says you're unable to work, it would cover you, but it would pay you a monthly benefit amount that you would choose up to 60% of your income. So if it was $1,000, then it would pay you $1,000 a month until the doctor either said you were able to return to work, or the maximum period on your policy.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to ascertain is for disability, say if you had a stroke or something like that, and you needed long-term care, critical illness would not take care of long-term care, but disability would, like if you needed to be in a, I don't know, skilled nursing facility or something like that for 6 months or 8 months or whatever.
So the critical illness policy, or the disability, none of our policies tell you how you have to use the money. So once you receive the benefit, you can use it however you would like. I can tell you that for like heart attack or stroke, major organ failure, end-stage renal kidney failure, like those type of things, you will get the benefit to the dollar is typically stretches more on a critical illness policy versus a disability policy. Like I said, you can buy a critical illness policy up to $75,000. So you would get that one flat check up front, whereas disability, you would receive a monthly benefit. Like I said, you can go up to 60% of your salary, but disability tends to be a little more expensive than a critical illness plan. And it is, you would be getting monthly payments. So whereas with the critical illness plan, you would get 100% of the benefit up front.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. There was another question. Can we email you if we want to make changes to our current policies? Absolutely. You can do that. So if you send an email to me directly, then I will reply and figure out what is the best date and time for you to review your policies. Also, most of our plans have the wellness benefits built into them. They're in the accident policy, the critical illness, cancer, hospital confinement. They all have those plans, and the benefits do stack. So if you have had your physicals done and you have not put in your wellness claims, and you've had your policy for whatever period of time, then I would recommend you reaching out so that we can assist you in filing those claims so that you can receive the wellness benefits that are built into your plans. The
Now,
only plans that don't have a wellness benefit are the dental, and the life insurance policies, but the rest of the plans do have a wellness benefit built in.
I had another question, and I think I had spoken with you a little bit about this, but if you could explain it a little bit more. So I
Okay.
have, like I said, the critical illness and the accident. And I wanted to add cancer, but I don't think I could add cancer with Colonial because of some kind of stipulation.
So
Is
if your critical illness plan has cancer built into it, because that is an option, to where you can have add a cancer rider in, then you can't have critical illness with cancer with Colonial and a standalone cancer policy because with the same carrier. So you may have critical illness with cancer. If your critical illness plan does not have a cancer rider on it, then you can separate them out. Typically, if it's more cost effective to combine the plans, then we will combine them for you or give you the option to combine them because it may be more cost effective for the policyholder that's applying for coverage.
Okay, so you can, if you don't have it, you can add the cancer to critical illness. And would it be the exact same benefit if you had just a straight cancer policy?
So no, so the difference in having a standalone cancer plan
Mm-hmm.
versus a critical illness with cancer plan is that the standalone cancer plan pays you based on treatments. So so it starts with an initial diagnosis benefit. And so you would select what that amount would be. It could be $5,000 or $10,000. But then once the policyholder receives the initial diagnosis, the rest of the payments are based on treatments. So if you have chemotherapy or radiation or a surgery, there's a schedule that shows you what you would receive for each of those payments. Whereas with the critical illness with the cancer rider, whatever benefit amount you select, that would be the benefit that you would receive, heaven forbid, if you were diagnosed with cancer. So you would again get a lump benefit versus getting benefits based on the treatments that you receive.
So,
One of the things that when we talk about critical illness with cancer versus a standalone policy is that medical technologies are changing all the time. And regardless to what carrier you have, most of them, when you have a standalone cancer policy, they list out in the policy what treatments are covered. So heaven forbid if a person had a standalone policy and there were some new advancements of treatment for cancer that are not listed, they may not
you
be
don't
paid.
get it.
So that's something to consider when you're looking at buying a standalone plan versus getting a flat benefit amount just for being diagnosed.
So if you add the cancer rider to the critical illness, say it's 50,000 or 75,000, you get the check for the 75,000, and you would hope that that 75,000 would cover your chemotherapy, your radiation, your medical visits, whatever.
Right. So if you could look at our like level 3, which is the cancer plan that most people opt into, if you were to have a radiation treatment, it's like $350 per session. So when you think about how many radiation sessions would I have to receive to get to $50,000, or how many of these things would I need? And then also you have to consider when you're placing a claim, when someone is going through something like cancer or stroke or anything like that, it's much easier to place one claim and get one benefit amount up front than to have to continue to send documentation in. That's something that policyholders have expressed that it's taxing on them. Oftentimes when we circle back and check in, they find out that they didn't even send in information for all of their claims. So fortunately, we don't have a time limit on how long you can submit a claim with us. So if you did miss a few treatments and you needed to send it in, Colonial will still honor the coverage that you had at the time of the claim. But it is a more cumbersome process because the person could potentially continue to undergo treatment for a period of time. The average payout for a cancer claim as of 2018 was $30,000. So, with surgeries and things like that. Now, there are people who I'm sure they exceed that, but that has been the average payout on our policies.
Okay, thank
I
you.
don't know if that helps out any.
So it sounds like it's better to have the cancer rider with critical illness as opposed to just a standalone cancer policy.
Well, I don't know if it's better, but we can definitely go through, answer more of your questions in detail, give you a side-by-side comparison, because there's one, you always lose something, right? So one thing doesn't necessarily give you everything. So there are pros and cons to both policies. I would say the biggest con that I see with the critical illness with cancer rider is that it is a one-time cancer payout, because cancer, you have to be 5 years cancer free before a doctor would say that your cancer is gone, right? So it basically would pay you one time, versus a heart attack or stroke where the policy will pay you multiple times for that benefit. It's going to pay you for cancer one time. If you had a just standalone cancer plan, as long as you are receiving treatment, then it will continue to pay you, even if it's one radiation and it's, that benefit is $300 for that month. If a person received, my father-in-law has had cancer, unfortunately, colon cancer, for 15 years. So in those rare instances where someone is undergoing treatment for an extensive period of time like that, and he's still receiving chemotherapy medications that he's taking, then he may be at a period of like 15 years probably would have exceeded the flat benefit amount that he received.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
there's pros and cons on both sides.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we have any further questions for Latice?
Yeah, I have one more question. So the hospital insurance, you were talking about that benefit. Does that cover elective surgeries or just necessary surgeries?
That is a really good question. I will have to, can you send me your email and I can double check that
Yes,
for you?
definitely.
And is there a way, Pierre, where we can put all the questions together and I can put the answers to them and you can like send it out to staff, like frequently asked questions from this meeting? Because I don't want to just respond to one person. Someone else may have had that same question.
We can attach a flyer on our open enrollment webpage to it. Yes, we can definitely do something like that. If you receive questions and put them in a Q&A answer format, PDF them to us, and yes, we'll go ahead and post it along with other items that are posted under Colonial.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Well, I have a question. This is Mickey. If something happens to me and I'm in the hospital and I am unable to make a phone call to you, is there a form that my beneficiaries I need to sign so they can act into my place?
Yes. So you can, on the Colonial Life website, and I can also send a form in. All of our paper claim forms, if someone were to do it online or if they were to fill it out with pen, like a regular pen to paper, you can add a person to your to call in for you and act on your behalf to receive information or provide information or speak to a claim specialist. So that is absolutely available.
Okay. Mickey, I hope that answered your question. Any additional questions for Latrice? Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay, well, I don't see any additional questions, and I don't think we received any questions via email. Latrice, this was very informative. I didn't know that you offer supplemental for the dental. That is a very interesting product, to say the least. Something to take in consideration. Now, Latrice, you are available. This is your phone number, 310-985-0694, and as well as the email address is stated. And for everybody attending this presentation who will be watching it, the presentation will be posted on the city's YouTube page with links to both our internal and external network under the open enrollment website for our employees to view. Again, we'd like to remind all our employees of open enrollment time, which runs until October 16, but mindful that that falls on a Friday. Our staff works 4 days a week, so October 15, if you want to reach somebody. We also recommend for all staff members and all employees to go ahead, complete their open enrollment forms at least 5 days prior to the end of that October 16 deadline to make sure to count for any technical errors, or if they need to go ahead and correct or rethink about something, or want to reach to any of our representatives such as Latrice today to get from her or them more information. Also, for everybody out there, our HR risk management team is always available and ready to answer your questions as much as we can. Latrice, on behalf of the city and the department, I'd like to thank you for this wonderful presentation, as well to both Sherry and Rick for their assistance. And to everybody who is attending today, thank you for participating. Once again, this recording will be made available until the end of open enrollment on the city's website within 2 business days from now. Have a wonderful day. This recording is going to be ending.
Thanks, Pierre. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.